Joining on the program now with Shelby County Commissioner, the chairman of the County Commission, Mickell Lowery, and you were just looking in to that press conference from earlier today. And sir, thanks so much for being with us. We know your city is going through so much at this time. Just first off, though, I want your reaction, your thoughts. When you first saw the body camera footage, what went through your mind?
It was terrible to watch. I saw this before obviously being released to the public, and it was gut-wrenching to see Tyre Nichols treated the way he was. What we know for a fact is Tyre Nichols posed no serious threat. We know that he was unarmed, and to see him get treated with no regard to his well-being by people who are supposed to protect and serve us is disheartening.
Sir, I want to ask you about some of the units within the Memphis Police Department. Are you familiar with the Scorpion unit? Had you ever heard of it? And for viewers who don't know what it is, what is its intended purpose?
I am, again, but I want to focus more so on those officers, because the Scorpion unit did not fail us. The Memphis Police Department didn't fail us. Those officers failed us. It's not the unit's fault. We have a city that has crime, and we need good police officers who want to do the right thing, who want to help clean up the crime in this city. But at the same time, we can't blame that on a unit. We can't blame that on a force. We can't blame that on all law enforcement. We blame those on the officers, and we look forward to seeing their day in court.
Sir, right now it does seem like, and I've seen some reporting to suggest that the Scorpion unit is now somewhat, quote, inactive, according to law enforcement officials there. In the wake of all of this, we've been showing pictures out of your city there. We have this live look up. What would you tell so many of the hundreds who have gathered there? What is your message to them tonight?
Let your voices be heard. Let your voice, that is your right. Let your voices be heard. You should be angry. You should be upset. You should be heartbroken over this. But let's continue to do it peacefully. And that's what's happening right now in Memphis. We should be the model for how protesting should be done. So the pictures you see right now are exactly what should be happening. Peaceful protests to let people know that we will not stand up and take things like this happening in our city.
And I've also seen some reporting to suggest, and have you been in touch with the police chief, both in Shelby County and the City of Memphis tonight? Have you been apprised of some of their preparations and plans about what to expect tonight? It does seemingly look and remain peaceful and calm at the moment, but as you know, things can turn on a dime in situations like this.
Yeah, they can, and we hope they don't.
Yeah.
Definitely, I have spoken with law enforcement about the plans they have to keep the city as safe as possible. They are keenly aware that there are going to be people that want their voices heard, that want to demonstrate, that will be in our streets tonight. And let's hope it continues just like it is. It's just not tonight. This is a weekend. We have tomorrow to worry about as well.
Right.
We have the weekend. So let's get through the next couple of days. Not just tonight, the next couple of days, because what we're seeing here in Memphis could be a model for the rest of the nation, because as I've watched the news, there are protests going on in other cities.
Right.
So we need to get through the next couple of days.
After about an hour's worth of that video was released today, we all watched it. We showed it in its entirety here on LiveNOW. It was very, very painful to watch. After watching it, though, do you still have questions about what exactly happened? On another network today, Police Chief C.J. Davis says they have, quote, not been able to substantiate that Nichols was, quote, recklessly driving prior to the stop. Are you worried about some of those fact patterns?
You know, I'm not worried about that. The questions I have when I see this video is, what is the culture like inside of our law enforcement for officers to do something like this? It appeared to be personal. It appeared to be egos were involved. So I'm worried more so about how do we change the culture for some of our officers so this doesn't happen again. I'm glad to see that they were fired promptly. Even more prouder to see that they were prosecuted expeditiously. And now we look forward to their day in court and looking forward to them to spend a long time in jail.
Yeah.
And hopefully as a city, we learn from this, and that all law enforcement officers should have to watch this video. Should have to watch this video periodically for training of what should never happen in our city, and hopefully nowhere else in the country.
Yeah, sir, we're also getting just a statement in a couple of minutes ago from the Shelby County Sheriff about two other officers from that force who were seen in the video, and Sheriff Bonner has relieved them of command pending a administrative hearing and investigation. Do you think there will be, I guess, more implications, more consequences for other members of your county and city's law enforcement going forward in the wake of all of this?
Unfortunately, I believe so. The video shows that there was more that should have been done to protect Tyre Nichols. Even if you weren't one of those officers that were directly involved in distributing blows to Tyre Nichols' head, if you stood around and didn't stop it, you are liable. If you didn't do anything to have some sort of constraints there and have some leadership on the scene, you're liable. So definitely, I definitely will see additional fallout as this case continues to move on.
And Commissioner Lowery, you know, having followed a lot of stories over the past year in Memphis, I'm thinking of the horrible murder and kidnapping of Eliza Fletcher. I'm thinking of just months ago of that shooting spree. Multiple people were dead, that individual who went on that rampage. And now this, the police brutally beating to death Tyre Nichols. The city of Memphis has been through so much. How do you come back from this, if possible?
We will. We will come back from it. We're a resilient city. We're a proud city. Those things you just mentioned, we know does not represent our city as a whole. Well, that's why we need good law enforcement around. There's no doubt we have an issue with crime here. We got to get a handle on it. But that's why we need good officers in place. So therefore, when you see something that's happened to Tyre Nichols, it's so disheartening because we need good police officers and sheriffs around to help keep our community safe. So we have no choice but to be resilient. We are a resilient city, trust me. And I believe that we're going to end up leading the way on reform and leading the way of how these situations should be treated in the future.
Sir, we appreciate your time. I know this is a very, very difficult and busy time for you as your city hopefully now can start the healing process, but still, the shock of that video is going to reel for weeks to come. Thank you so much for your time. We'll talk again.
All right. Thank you for having me.